Think Blue Chew is just pop a pill and go? Wrong. In today's video, I'm gonna go over 5 tips that will blow your mind about using Blue Chew that will take your results to a level you didn't think was possible. I'll show you how to get the absolute max out of using Blue Chew and avoid common mistakes that will leave some guys disappointed. And make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video because tip number 5 is an absolute game changer. It makes Blue Chew hit way harder and it's something that most guys have never heard of. So stick around so you guys don't miss out on that. Without further ado guys, let's hop right into the video. So tip number 1, timing is everything when it comes to Blue Chew. Now, a lot of guys from my previous video of me fully reviewing Blue Chew, which I'll link down below for you guys, were asking me, Alton, how long before I do the deed do I have to take a Blue Chew? And this is a very good question. My recommendation and what they actually tell you on the Blue Chew website is that you're gonna wanna take Blue Chew 30 to 60 minutes before you do the deed. So basically, if you know, okay, it's kind of leading up to that time, maybe you've been out, you got dinner with the young lady, drinks, whatever, and it's kind of getting to that point in the night where you know, all right, it's about to happen, you actually wanna take the Blue Chew minimum 30 minutes beforehand, but ideally at least 1 hour beforehand to make sure that it kicks in properly. So for me, what I'll do is, all right, so after whatever, getting back to the crib, you know, basically like within an hour of you kind of getting back home or getting back to her place, whatever, you know that things are probably about to set in. Just go to the bathroom real quick. The packet it comes in is just this little tiny packet. And it's so easy. You just tear the top open and the Blue Chew is in here. It's just a mint, it dissolves. You take it real quick, boom, 30 minutes to an hour beforehand and you're gonna be good. Tip number 2. Now this one's gonna sound a little bit counterproductive or opposite to the whole point of using Blue Chew, but tip number 2 is that you actually don't wanna use Blue Chew every time that you have sex. So I preach for guys, especially guys who come to me who need help in the bedroom, that you don't wanna get dependent on things like Blue Chew. If every time that you're getting intimate with a woman or every time that you're about to do the deed in the bedroom, you have to pull out a Blue Chew, it's actually gonna perform the opposite effect than desired in the long run. So what I mean by this, you can actually get addicted to Blue Chew, believe it or not. It's not really like a physical dependence. It's not really like your body getting dependent to it, but it's almost like a brain connection. So if you use Blue Chew every time that you do the deed, then your brain's gonna start to think, okay, well, every time I'm about to sleep with somebody, I have to pop a Blue Chew. Well then what happens if you don't have a Blue Chew around? You're gonna start to feel a lot of performance anxiety. You might think that, oh no, without the Blue Chew, I'm not gonna be able to perform my best, or even, hey, I might not be able to even get it up. And this could actually be the case. Even though we do use things like Blue Chew to help us in the bedroom, you don't wanna become reliant on this, because if you do and you don't have it, you're gonna either have trouble getting it up in the bedroom, maintaining it, or you might even just finish quick, which none of us want that. Do not use Blue Chew every time that you're getting intimate, guys. Tip number 3. Now you guys are gonna wanna experiment with different dosages. So for me, you guys will see right here, what I'm prescribed is the vardenafil at 8 milligrams, just a chewable tablet, but you never know. For you, you might need to use a 16 milligram tablet, or even, it could be even less than what I'm taking. Now the best thing and what my suggestion is for you guys is to start with the lowest effective dose. This is something that's known in the medical community where basically you wanna use the smallest dose possible that will allow you to achieve the desired effect. So for you, you wanna be able to get it up on time, you wanna be able to last a long time, you wanna be able to increase your size and really just perform really well in the bedroom. You can get an 8 milligram Blue Chew and then don't take the whole thing. I remember when I first started Blue Chew, whenever I would use it before, getting intimate with a young lady, I wouldn't even take the full thing. I would take a quarter of the 8 milligram tablet that they gave me. Then I worked my way up to taking a half. And then every now and then I would take a full 8 milligram Blue Chew. But even now, sometimes I'll still go back to just taking like a little tiny piece, a little quarter off of it, still taking a half. Because like my last point, you guys don't wanna get dependent on Blue Chew. You don't wanna get dependent on this. You wanna just be able to use the smallest dose possible to still achieve the desired result. Tip number 4, you're gonna wanna research in depth the type of Blue Chew that you have. So for example, I take vardenafil because I feel like it's the best for me because I can take it if I have food on my stomach, I can take it if I've been drinking that night, but not all forms of Blue Chew are the same. There are 3 forms you can get. You can get the vardenafil like me, you can get the tadalafil, which is the same as Cialis, or you can get the sildenafil, which is the same as Viagra. Now you're gonna wanna research the form of Blue Chew that you have because for example, if you take the Cialis version and you've been drinking that night, you severely increase the risk of side effects and the Blue Chew won't be as effective effective for you. Or for example, if you're taking the Viagra form of BLUECHEW and you ate right before that you took it, well then it's not gonna be really effective at all. So you wanna make sure you look into your form of BLUECHEW. Again, I take the varieties version because you can eat beforehand, you can have been drinking that night and you won't have to worry about side effects or if it's gonna be effective. But if you take a different version, just make sure you know what comes along with it. And tip number 5, you're actually gonna wanna experiment with all the different types of BLUECHEW. So I'm not saying order them all at once, but you know, if you are using it as an enhancer, for your first time that you try it, maybe try out the varieties. I tried the varieties first because from my research, I thought it just fit my needs best. But then I tried the Viagra, the sildenafil version second, and I found out that I really liked it. I thought, okay, they all kind of do the same things as far as increasing your blood flow down there, increasing your size, making it longer, making it girthier. But then I found out that the Viagra form of it actually worked a little bit differently and kind of better in my opinion than the varieties version that I'd been using the whole time. So again, all of our body chemistries are different. You guys are gonna wanna test out the different forms of BLUECHEW. I can't tell you necessarily which one will be best for you. I could like the Viagra form the most and you could like the Cialis form the most. So try out all the different forms of BLUECHEW. Again, they have the sildenafil, the taudelafil, and the varieties versions. Try one or all of these tips and I guarantee you your results will never be the same. Let me know in the comments which one of these are you gonna try first. Have you guys used BLUECHEW in the past or are you thinking about getting on it? I feel like these are one of the topics which are a little bit taboo for men to speak about, but I find it's important that we do talk about these things. If this video helped, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on post notifications because I do post videos like this every single day. And if you guys want to check out my full review breaking down BLUECHEW in depth, you can check it out at my video over here. I love you guys and I'll speak with you very soon. I'll see you tomorrow.